This video is going to briefly look at labeling triangles for trigonometry problems. And it's crucial we get this right because the whole of the process follows from this. We start with labeling. And the first thing we do is we identify the right angle triangle. If there is no right angle triangle, then we have to go away and redraw the problem so that there is, because we need a right angle triangle. So the side opposite the right angle is the hypotenuse. So we take the 90 degrees, go across, and that side is H. Don't need to use the word hypotenuse, H will do fine. When we look at the angle we are given or wanted, and opposite that is the opposite, O, which leaves one side over, which we call the adjacent A. It's a fairly simple process. Opposite the 90 degrees is the hypotenuse, opposite the angle is the opposite, and the remaining side is the adjacent. The long side is always the hypotenuse, but there's no pattern to the rest of it. So when we look at this one, we see the hypotenuse is the bottom, the opposite is the right, and the adjacent is the top, quite different from the first triangle we looked at. Let's see how it works in practice. So here's a problem. We have one side at 17 long, we have an angle of 64 degrees, and we're asked to find the right hand side. So we label the sides using a process. The 17 is the hypotenuse because it's the long side opposite the 90 degrees. The unknown side x is opposite our 64 degrees, so it's O, which leaves the bottom side being A, but that's got nothing to do with this problem because it is neither a side that we are given the value of nor the side that we want. Here's another one. This time we're given two side lengths and asked to find the angle. Well, the 21 is a hypotenuse because it's opposite the 90 degrees. The far right side is the opposite, but in this case we have nothing that we want to do with that because it's not given to us, and the other relevant side is the 17, which is the adjacent. If we're given two angles for the triangle, then we can't find the opposite to those, so what we do is we cross one of them out, in this case the 22. Then we proceed just as before. That's the hypotenuse opposite the 90 degrees. That's the opposite the 68 we've chosen, leaving our unknown side K is the adjacent. If we have a problem, such as this one, where we have no angle indicated, that is we have two sides and are asked for a third, then we can label the hypotenuse, but we don't have an angle to be opposite. In this case, it's because this problem is not a trigonometry problem, it's a Pythagoras problem. If we don't have an angle involved, it's not trig. And there we have it. The side opposite the 90 degrees is H, the side opposite the angle is O, the remaining side is A. There's no pattern to which one's H, O or A, just the way the triangle is organized.